So I think Kim Coates is joining us in a moment. Is there someone there on the phone now?
It's actually me right here, right now.
That is Kim Coates right here, right now. How are you doing, sir?
What the Sam hell is going on?
We've been talking about a lot of FX programming the last 30 minutes. This is an all-FX show, it sounds like.
How's that going for you?
Brother, let me tell you, between Sons and Justified, I don't think there's two better shows on TV. I mean, I love The Good Wife, and that's about it for me.
That's a pretty sloppy third right there, little Good Wife on the
end. that's my broad show. I slip it in. So do you watch Justified, though, by the way, Kim? Do you watch other FX
No, I don't, but I'm going to start because I'm a big fan of all the boys on that show, and AJ Buckley just joined this year, and he reminded me a couple of days ago, so I've got it on DVR. So I'm going to be watching my little buddy AJ, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's great. Rappaport's on.
Did you see it last night?
Oh, dude, it was so good. I just
How
watched
was it?
It's great. It's great. I mean, it's stylistically different than your show. It's a little different, but I mean, it's great. I enjoy it. It's more of a procedural. You guys are more like every story.
Insanity. We're like insanity. But isn't it right? Isn't it right, you guys? Don't you feel this about FX and what John Landgraf, our valiant leader, CEO of FX, what he's done since the years of the Shield is he's got all these amazing drama, comedy, weird, wacky shows, and what he does, I think, so brilliantly, is he lets the showrunners do their shows.
Yeah,
they just do their show. He doesn't get overly, involved. Yes, he gives notes. Yes, they all talk about it. But man, oh man, from American Horror Story and Justified and our show, and I mean our show is just a huge, I don't know what we can call it anymore. It's such a hit now around the world. But I just love FX. I'm biased. I'm on the goddamn network, but I'm so biased at the work that people keep doing on that network, and John just lets them do it.
How do you think there's any other network that would let Kurt Sutter get away with everything he does? No, I don't think so either. Honestly, I don't even know about premium.
I don't even think he can. I don't even think he can believe that he gets away with what he gets away with.
Brother, I don't believe it. Like every year there's new shit that. First of all, this has to be the most violent season of Sons I ever seen. Ever.
I'm telling you guys, honestly, I missed a good chunk. Like, I don't watch the show when I'm filming the show. That's just me. Sure. I don't do that. I love the show, obviously, but I don't watch it until I'm done filming the show. So I haven't caught 7 or 8 shows in the middle, So this is the most violent season for sure on many fronts, don't you think?
And by the way, I wanted to bring up, so let's get right into it. How lucky are you to be alive on this show right now? Dude, I think you're seriously going to get whacked every week. Can
I swear? Can I swear on this show?
Yeah. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Like, what the fuck is going on with Tig? I mean, how many lives do I have?
Dude, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like every week you're going to get it. Is there ever been a point in time where Kurt's told you, listen, bro, I don't know if you're making it this week. I don't know.
The greatest thing about Sutter, have you interviewed him yet, you guys?
No, I want to. He won't do my show.
He's turned you down.
No,
he's too scared of you, Aaron. He's just too scared.
I know. I don't think he's ever replied.
Well, he doesn't like people. He's famous for not liking people, at all, and he says it everywhere he goes.
I hate people. Perfect.
Oh yeah, no doubt he does. But listen, Tig Trager. What the greatest thing about Kurt? At the beginning of every season, he will sit down with the regulars. He hasn't for the past couple of years because he kind of knows where the whole story is going now. But he used to sit down with us and give us a bit of an overlay as to what the season was going to be kind of sort of like for our characters. And since we started dying, like the regulars, like Ryan Hurst, when Opie took the shiv for the boys in the prison, that's been the beginning of, how do you say it? I don't know, like Sutter, he told, I don't want to, no spoiler alerts. Everyone knows what happened this year, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Yeah. We've already spoiled.
Yeah, okay, great. Let's just spoil the fuck out of anybody then. Basically, Maggie Siff and Ron Perlman were sat down at the beginning of this year and told each that they were going to die. So he does that. He does that with all the regulars. So we've all known that we were not going to make it by the beginning of each season that we start to shoot. So last year, for example, season 5 for my character, other than my wife, I don't think anybody thought I was going to survive with Pope and the drama with my daughter and whatnot, and the mistake of killing his daughter and all that. But I did, and the great thing for me as an actor, obviously, like I knew I wasn't going to die, but I actually felt that I was gonna. Like I really thought maybe Kurt just didn't want to tell me, and I'm going to read the last script, and that's it. Dude,
between you and Juice, I think you guys have the most lives on the planet. How Juice isn't dead yet either just, blows my mind.
Juicy Pants is on his way out, I think, don't you? I mean,
I have a feeling this final season's going to be quite the bloodbath. I think it's going to make this season look like Tame.
People of the greatest line, or the word I heard for the upcoming and final season of Sons is it's going to be a tinderbox. Oh. It's going to be one big tinderbox, and I don't think anyone's going to be left. Well, maybe Chucky. I mean, I don't know, but it's going to be messy.
I would hope Bobby makes it. I mean, who's going to kill Bobby? He's like the greatest.
Who wants to kill Bobby? What the hell? He's Santa Claus in disguise.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, this is just like one of my favorite shows. I joke around and I tell everyone it's like the Hillbilly Sopranos because it's just that good. It's like it's the perfect combination of all those great B movies you watch growing up, all those great pulp movies, and then like the Sopranos. I mean, it's just awesome. I was going to ask you, too, about Maggie Siff. Like, everyone knows Maggie Siff and Ron Perlman are going to get it, and everyone's got to keep their mouth shut. One, how hard is it to keep your mouth shut throughout the whole season? And then how hard is it to deal with losing friends on the set?
To answer your first question, it's pretty hard not to. I mean, when you have the beautiful Maggie Siff walk over to Theo and me in the parking lot, literally after we had our very first read-through way back in May before we filmed season 6, and she walks towards us with this really, I don't know, this whimsical, like, wow, beautiful but sad look, and we go, what's up? And she goes, well, how'd you think the reading went, the read-through? And we said, it was good. I'm pissing on a body and singing songs, Dock of the Bay. I'm excited, and Theo talked a little, and she goes, I'm going to bite it this year. And literally, we just stopped mid-sentence. And what did you just say? What did you say?
Oh. And
it was like one of those moments where, not her, me or Tommy or Theo or Ron, for Christ, but not Maggie. And that's the brilliance of Sutter. You know what I mean? Just when you think, well, Opie can never die because he's the Horatio of the piece. You know what? He's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Just when you want Jackson and Tara to go north with the boy, guess what? She's dead with a fork. I mean, honestly, that's the unpredictability of Sutter. So that's the first part is it's really hard not to say stuff, and the second part was we all get along really well, you guys. We really do. I don't. This is my first foray as a regular on a television series because I've just done so many movies and arcs on TV, but I never really wanted to be on a television show, and this is the first one I said yes to, and I'm so glad I did. So I don't know what to compare it to with other shows that have gone past that 3-year mark when they become a bit of a hit, but we do, man. We're like a family. We love and hate each other at the same time, and we miss each other when we're not around each other. So it's Maggie and Pearl are going to be missed.
So when you guys lost Ryan Hurst, that was like a really big one. Maybe Piney, but before that,
Piney was the beginning, and Little Half Sack, obviously. That was
Johnny Lewis. Yeah, Johnny Lewis, but Ryan Hurst was like the big one because this is the guy you share probably the most scenes with, right? And
yeah.
So when you lost a guy like Ryan Hurst and you saw that Kurt was taking the show in this direction, how did you guys handle that as a team, right away? Like when you guys are as actors, how do you handle that?
We got extremely drunk. We just really got hammered. Because he died so early in season 5, the 4th show. So yeah, man, all 14 of us, we got a big motorhome. I rented it, and we went out to this incredible secluded spot. It was 100 degrees, and it was our own spot, and we spent about 35 hours together. Gave him this incredible present from all of us. That was a big deal right in the beginning of the series like that. To fourth show, you're gone. It was weird. It was just really strange. But life goes on, you know. That's just the way it is. I'm excited for this show to be over. Do you know what I mean?
I hear.
Do you know what I mean, you guys? I mean, honestly, I'm very blessed and, huh?
It's emotional, you know. It
is emotional, and yet, you know, that's a long time. And
yeah.
I've been playing this wacko, softy, tough boy for a long time, and I'm excited about the future on television now. I've never really thought about it. Now I do. Now I've got people thinking for me. I've got people thinking about my show, and I'm very excited about all that. And I can't wait to wrap this baby up, and it's going to be a wild last season for sure.
Is that what you're going to keep? You're going to keep doing television after this, or are you going to go
You
back?
You never know, right, boys? I mean, I'm a working actor. I've come from the stage, and I went right into movies, and I've worked very hard, and you know, my face is my face, but I love accents, and I love gaining weight, losing weight. I love getting into it, and everybody who works with me knows that. And I've won a few awards, and I've got some good buddies along the way, and I'm very proud of some of the movies I've done, all the movies I've done, but some have more notoriety than others, I suppose, when you've done over 50 movies. But I'll never forget Son. So because of Perlman and Theo and Charlie and Tommy and the girls, I mean, these girls all have balls, right? I mean, Maggie and Katie and Drea DiMatteo, they're all just so tough and brilliantly. They just know how to act, and it's always fun to go to work every day. So when you're on a successful show like this, do I think about TV? Sure I do. Am I thinking about my movies? I still do my movies, and I'm going to do more movies. So I'm just a working actor. That's what I am.
No, and everyone knows you from the movies, of course, before this show. I mean, you were doing Pearl Harbor, Black Hawk Down, Open Range with you and Costner.
Sure.
And by the way, Costner's great. You guys are friends, right? You and Kevin?
He's one of my best friends in the world, without a doubt. I can't even. I wish he was here. I'd just slap him right. I haven't seen him in a while now because
he's busy.
And so we're both so busy. That's what happens. But when we see each other, it's like nothing. It's just like picking right up from before. I miss him and Christine.
I'm good friends with Mike Binder, who just did a film with him, and I saw this. I saw a cut of their film, and Kevin's back, man. He's always been there. I mean, he's great. But
he looks great, right? It looks really good, right?
Yeah. Oh, he looks great, and he did Hatfields and McCoys. And
I know, and he won. I called him right away. I mean, I was just so proud of him. It's just really great to win an acting award like that finally. It's good for him.
Let me ask you this about Kevin. Is there a smarter businessman that you know? Like, this guy bets on himself all the time and wins. Wins every time.
The thing that I've done 2 movies with Costner now, and I'm supposed to be doing another one any minute. It's sort of like he calls it. It's like pushing the boulder up the mountain. And when it gets to the top, then we'll be working together again. I can't say much about it, but it's a really crazy, exciting piece. Kevin Costner, in my humble opinion, is if you're his friend, you're his friend. Like you're his friend. He gives it up. He listens. He shares. He can party. He's a family man. He's smart. And he just doesn't suffer fools lightly. And I learned that a long time ago with him when I met him on Waterworld back in 1947 when I did that movie in 1946, whatever the fuck that was. But, he's a buddy, man. He's a very smart guy.
I was like 13 when Waterworld came out, and I thought, and I
got to tell you, a baby.
Kim, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I thought when I was 13 it was the coolest movie ever.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I read that script way back in the early 90s, he just came off winning all those Oscars.
Yeah.
And he was leaving Cindy, which was a sad time for him and Cindy, and the paparazzi was everywhere. And it was a hard, exciting time, I think, for Kevin. But when I read the script, I have to say that script was so much more full than what it turned out to be. I thought some of the acting was amazing in that script. I thought some of the cinematography, obviously amazing. And Kevin Reynolds did a great job directing it. It went on too long. It had that thing of, oh my God, it's out of control, and Hollywood's out of control, and it's too bad because it really wasn't that. They just didn't know what they wanted. And with all these sea-doos flying through the air, there was much more character in the script that I read. And one of these days I will talk to Kevin about, who won or who lost in keeping that more character-driven stuff with Dennis Hopper and him that was not in the final draft. It was more, if you're asking me about sea-doos flying through the air at times, a little bit too much for me. But over the years, it's got all its money back and then some, and it's a bit of a cult hit now. So
that's what I was going to say. What's funny is they even put a Universal theme. They had the show at Universal and everything. It's made its money back. When people talk about it being this flop, it wasn't.
I know, and no, not at all. And you'll love this, you guys. So, so Universal, right? They open the park, and my people call me and they go, "Hey, listen, they want you to come down and be at I said, and do what? I played a drifter. What? And do what? Yeah, but everyone remember. I said, no, let them open the park. Let them do it. So about a year later, my mom comes down from Canada, and we go to Universal. And we're sitting there, and we get in there, and Mom goes, so is this where you filmed a lot of the movie? And I said, Mom, we were in Hawaii. Mom, this is a park. This is it looked so awesome to my mother. She wondered if we filmed a lot of it right there on the lot. I said, no, we were outside in Hawaii. That's where we filmed it, Mom.
Let me ask you, Sons, of course, is huge for you, and I gotta guess, there's big money in Sons once you finally hit that. But for years, you're doing character roles in movies. How easy or hard is it to get by? How do you feel when you become a character actor, when that's your job, just to be an actor? Is it that hard, or
it's just all I've ever known. I stumbled into acting. I didn't ever see a play. Being a Canadian boy, I played hockey my whole life. I was going to be a history teacher. I went to college to take a history class, and I just loved history, and I took a drama class for fun. Just, I'll pass that for sure. And I, meet some girls and whatnot. I literally had no interest in drama. 4 years later, I had switched my my major to drama, and I think I did about 24 plays over a 4-year time. Isn't that amazing? 24, including summer stock. So it's all I've ever known. And I've worked really, really hard. And I've been on Broadway, and I've been at Stratford. And the youngest Macbeth ever at Stratford, John Neville directed me, the late John Neville. I was 27 at the time. and then films, Marion Doherty from Warner Brothers. They grabbed me right away. And The Client, Last Boy Scout, Innocent Blood. And so you know what, you guys? I've just never thought about it. I just wanted to work on good movies, good parts. I've said no a lot. I've said no to TV early, and that might have been a mistake. I don't know. But I don't regret anything. And I was always, like you guys just said, I was that guy. Oh, you're that guy. Well, now I'm Kim Coates because of Sons of Anarchy.
That's
the
right.
Power of, you guys know this, Aaron. You guys know this. The power of television, when people actually watch you in their house every week for a 5, 6, and they get to know you, they feel it's a crazy powerful thing, TV, and so I have sure. Hey, I'm very blessed.
The first thing I remembered you from was Last Boy Scout, because in the 90s, growing up, I remembered you as you were always the bad guy. You're always a scumbag in movies. You were always like the henchman scumbag.
Sure. With humor, though. With humor. Right. Always with humor.
Last Boy Scout was a great movie, by the way. I think that's a really underrated movie. I really do.
It was. Do you remember that? Matthew, it opened in December. It was one of those kind of weird time slots for sort of an action, funny, and Tony Scott, the late, great Tony Scott, who directed it. It just made a ton of money. And Damon Wayans was hysterical, and it had that football element. Yeah. And boy, oh boy, it was a great calling card for me, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at that time, you had Last Boy Scout. That was a big deal. And then the client, though, when you're doing Grisham, especially at that time in the mid-'90s, you're doing Grisham, that's a great calling card.
Yeah, Anthony LaPaglia starred as Barry the Blade Maldonado, and I played Paul Gronke. That's right, Joel Schumacher.
Right.
Boy, that's a long time ago. But you're right, man. But again, right, Tim Monick, who works with Gary Oldman on accents. He's one of the great vocal coaches in the world.
Yeah.
You know how exciting it was to get that movie, have 5 weeks to prepare, fly down to New Orleans, work with Tim Monick on that accent, lose that weight, look at that, those bad shirts that I wore and the big mole on my forehead.
I remember the mole.
Remember that frickin' mole?
Yep,
can I tell you a story about that?
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story? So
yeah.
Joel Schumacher calls me up on the phone and goes, "Okay, so welcome to." I said, "Thanks, can't wait, Joel. Can't wait to work with you. It's gonna be great." He goes, "So have you read the book?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, so there's a scene in the elevator where the boy comes up to you, and I want you to have a big scar. I want you to have a big scar over your doctor's mask." And I went, "Does it have to be a scar? Like, can't we just, let me think?" He said, "Well, think about it, but I think it's So I called him back, I don't know, maybe 2 days later after I talked to the makeup gal, and the makeup gal told me, in the bayou, men with some French influence have moles all over their fucking body. So that was me who came up with the mole idea, and Joel loved it. And I'll never forget going to test. I had a mole testing, and I'm in this trailer with this, testing my moles. And I came out with what I thought was the perfect mole. And I came out, and Joel goes, "Oh, no, it's got to be much bigger than that." And it freaked me the fuck out because I thought, oh, my God, I can't have a bigger mole than this. So
well,
I actually took...
When people aren't you scared that people are going to think that that's like your real face at some point?
Yeah, man, that's my mole, man. You bet I cover that up every day of my life.
Right, like casting directors are like, man, we should cast him, but he's got this huge fucking mole.
I'm telling you, I took home a whole jar of extra moles that I would put on at Halloween and scare the shit out of kids.
Was working with, I mean, I know you only had a small role in this, but was working with Michael Bay crazy?
Michael Bay, I mean, the story with Michael, I've done 3-4 movies with Michael now, but the Bad Boys, how that happened, I actually got cast in Bad Boys in the second Bad Boy. There was that great French actor who played the lead bad guy, and then he had a sort of a sidekick, and that was going to be me. And I had to turn Michael down because I had this other movie offer in Europe at the time, and I just couldn't get out of it, and I didn't want to get out of it. And it just bad timing for me, so I had to say no. Months go by, months. I'm in my little beach house in Venice, and I get this phone call from my agents going, "Guess who called?" I said, "Who?" They said, "Michael Bay. What's up?" They want to rewrite the beginning of the movie. They don't have their beginning, and wonders if you'll just come do a guest cameo. I said, "Absolutely." I made all that shit up, dude. I mean, all that titty, strutty. I'm a comedian. I'm the funny. I just made it all up, and I'm telling you, Will Smith, we had a blast, man. I mean, one day we shot the entire beginning of that movie, and that was a favor to Michael, and I'm really glad I was able to do it.
And then from then on, you've kind of become one of Michael Bay's go-to guys. How come you haven't been in any of the Transformers yet?
Exactly. Could you call him up? I mean, I saw Michael I won't tell you where I saw him, but I saw him at a place, and I said, what's going on, Slick? What the hell is... I know I'm busy. I know you're busy, but where are me and Fichtner? Why are we not in your movies anymore? So we had a good giggle about that, so maybe something will happen in the future. You never know. Yeah,
Fichtner's in a lot of his movies, too. He used him in The Rock. I mean, come on. Where are you at, Bay?
Yeah. And I think Michael produced the new Turtles movie. Billy's.
That's right.
Billy's playing Shredder.
Yeah, he's the bad guy in it. That's right. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. How are you guys? Am I talking to you guys in Chicago? Are you in Chicago?
I'm in Chicago because I'm prepping for my first film. I'm pre-producing for a film I'm directing.
Oh, my God. That's so... Congratulations, brother.
It's exciting. And I'm writing something for back in L.A., so I'm back and forth.
I know. I'm a fan, man. That's good for you. Are you really... This is going to be your first producing hat on this movie? Are you going to star in it as well?
I'm starring, directing, the whole thing, brother, the whole thing. And then, you know what's kind of cool is someone else that we're mutual friends with. I don't know how I haven't run into you sooner because I was talking about how I ran into Dayton Cali a few weeks ago, who, by the way, how amazing is he? He plays Wayne Unser on...
Dayton's 104 years old, and how he continues to get out of bed every morning is a shocker to all of us who know him.
Let me tell you, this guy, we're at a party, and he is fucking dancing his ass off. With all
how did you know? When were you hanging with Dayton? When was this?
This was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And he's hanging out with all these hot Puerto Rican broads, like dancing. Sure. And I go, and he looks nothing like, by the way, looks nothing like Wayne, because on the show he has cancer and he looks like he's dying. Like in person, he looks healthy.
Don't put that camera too close to his nose, please. Back it away. Back it away a little bit, please.
He looks healthy and shit. And I'm watching like 2 a.m. And I'm like, I turn to my buddy David Rodriguez, who's a director, and I go, Dave, I got to go. I'm fucking beat. And I turn, and here's fucking Dayton fucking dancing his ass off. And I go, Dayton, by the way, loved you in Motel Life. I just saw your new movie. He goes, I didn't even know that came out. I go, yeah, don't worry about it, brother. It's great. He's like, oh, that's great. I'm glad it's good.
That's exactly the way he sounds. Is Motel Life, is that the one where he plays that carnival guy with the saxophone?
No, this is one with Emile Hirsch and Steven Dorff, and he plays a pawn shop owner, but it's a great movie. It's a great Steven Dorff's best work in forever. And,
really? That's great to hear. Really?
Yeah, but the other guy that we both know who I love is Michael Whitehorn. And how
do you know Michael? He's just like one of the greatest guys on the planet.
He's the best. And here's why I love Michael Whitehorn in regards to you. He realizes that you have a great comedic side. And we were talking about Little Help, and we're talking about this small movie I'm doing here, and we're talking about small movies. A Little Help's a great movie. And he realizes, though, that you have this comedic side. Could you see yourself doing a sitcom?
Guys, listen to me. I'm not fucking around here. It's all about comedy for me.
That's great.
I mean, you know, I've got these drama chops. I've got this background of the drama, and yes, people know I'm funny, but funny. I can't wait to pick my nose and eat it. I can't wait. It's gonna happen. There's more John C. Reillys out there than John C. Reilly, and I'm telling you, time's coming. My time's coming in comedy. It is, and it's coming. And I'm telling you, Michael Whitehorn is. I'm so glad you brought that up. I can't wait to call him. I so owe him a phone call. We talked just before Christmas. I need to call him because he's got a lot going on now. And he's
Get on the Goldbergs. He's working on that right now.
Yeah, I know he is. It's tough when I'm doing Sons, though. You know, it's tough to
That's
guys.
Right.
But you know, Sons is almost over, and Michael's the kind of guy who I would work with for the rest of my life. I love his stuff so much, right?
And King of Queens is one of the best shows ever. And then, by the way, he is and Family Ties, of course. But Kim, like the thing I love about Whitehorn is when I moved to L.A., he was the first guy that opened his arms up to me and said, "Let's hang out, let's get together, anything you need, whatever." And he's always been there for me. Really great guy. But I mean, the thing I like the most about him is he's a normal dude. This guy used to be a history teacher. He's not Hollywood at all.
No doubt. So did he follow your comedy? Did he follow you and all your stand-up stuff? Did he work with you?
No, I had Michael on the show, and
I've
always been a big supporter of him. I wrote him a real long letter about one of the reasons I got into comedy was King of Queens, and it's just like one of my favorite shows ever.
That's great.
And we've always me and my friends, we just always loved TV, and so I've always been a big admirer of his, and him and I just hit it off, and we've been friends ever since. And I just think he's just a normal dude, but he's also so sharp and funny and real. The thing about Whitehorn is he's kind of like Kurt in a way on the comedy end, where he's no bullshit.
No, that's exactly right. No guff, absolutely.
No, he believes in what he believes in. And it's no bullshit. You two working on something together would be great. That'd be a great show.
Well, we're going to. We did already. We did this little sketch piece that is sort of a semi. Did you see it?
I was in one of the other sketches. I wasn't in.
Were you in one of those sketches?
I was a much fatter version of me. And now I'm in now I'm all buffed up and everything for this movie. Now I'm in great shape, but I was a much fatter version of me in one of the sketches there. Yeah.
That's great because there was this, he did this animated thing where I played this agent for him, and oh my God, it was funny. I don't know if it ever got picked up, but these guys from Minnesota were co-producing it with him.
That's right.
But yeah. Anyway, Michael, yeah, he's got a lot going on, and I can't wait to work with him again.
Oh, I would love to see you do more comedy. I mean, that's what we're writing right now. I'm doing a comedy pilot right now, and I mean, dude, I just love comedy.
Anytime.
I'm telling you,
Matthew, anytime.
Dude,
I mean
do
it.
something outrageous with you in like 5
Yes.
seconds. No
yes.
joke. You totally could do even bigger than John C. Reilly. You know what you'd be perfect in? You'd be perfect in a Farrelly Brothers movie. That's who you need to hook up with, those Farrelly Brothers.
I know. So just make a call, would you? Just give them a call.
After I call
you
Michael
guys are the
Bay
big shots down there. Just make a call on my behalf. It's fine.
After I call about Transformers, I'll call about that.
Right.
Hey, I want to ask one other thing. I wanted to give you props for this so all our listeners know. Dude, these USO tours you're doing and everything where you guys are giving back to the fans and stuff, I just want to tell you, I know that takes a lot of time out of your schedule and stuff, but it's really great that you guys appreciate your fans and everything.
Well, thank you. No, thank you very much. And you cannot, you're forever changed when you run into the men and women from America and Canada and some in Europe too. When you meet these guys and girls, and they look at you and they go, "Yeah, I was downrange, and season 2 basically got me through the entire thing." And you just go, "What? Your show, Sons of Anarchy. We'd think about it out on the range. We'd think about it in our Humvees. And you guys are just thank you." And I go, "Stop. Thank you for everything you're doing." And helping keeping us safe and all this. I mean, I'm so anti-war, but I'm so pro-troop. It's unbelievable. So, hey, I've done 2 massive USO tours now. I've been lucky to be invited to a couple of them. I've done some charity events in Washington. I'm a bit of a, not a spokesperson, but sure, why not? I'm a bit of a spokesperson for the USO, and I'm proud to be. And it's an honor to be involved with these men and women that are doing what they're doing.
Isn't it just mind-blowing that these people that, have 16-hour work days sitting on the front line, sitting on the fences, watching our asses, and then they still find time to watch Sons of Anarchy, love it. I mean, isn't that special that, let's say, these guys probably only have time for 1 or 2 shows, and it's your show.
Well, do you know what, brother? That is exactly the truth. They literally will get, pirated copies of, I think it's 3 shows, and we're always the number 1 show watched in Iraq, Kuwait, Afghanistan. There are more pirated copies of our stuff than any other show, and that's a fact. So,
and I got to imagine guys like you and Kurt and even Landgraf and all those guys. You guys don't even care that it's pirated. For those guys, do whatever you got to do to watch.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Bring it.
Yeah, right.
Bring it.
Yeah, that's great. I would love to talk to Kurt sometime. He's off the wall. I listened to his interviews on Howard Stern. He is just, dude, I love how real the guy is.
There's been a couple times, though, honestly, boys, where I will finish a reading and I'll take him behind the set, and I've grabbed his face and I go, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is going on between your ears? What do you mean? 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 And he's just a really odd duck that just happens to be brilliant at this world that he's created in this biker world. It's crazy.
I just think he does something that not since David Chase anyone's done as well, where he separates the business and personal so well. He loves all you guys. But if there comes a moment where he has to do it, it's all about the character to him. There's nothing like, oh, I'm friends with Ryan Hurst, I got to keep him, or whatever. It's like, if it's time to go, it's time to go. Even Ron Perlman. I mean, Ron Perlman, that he goes on that show, made you realize Kurt don't care.
I mean this, and this is like no disrespect to Charlie, who's just like an amazing actor. Since Ron was pulled from the president's seat, it's been a completely different show.
Yeah, it is.
It really has. That gravitas that he brought as an older, been there, done that sort of president, and to see the transformation of what Charlie's brung to the head of the table, it's a completely different show. And so you're right. Pearl's gone now, and it hasn't even really sunk in because we really lost him near the end last year, and it's going to be so weird not to have him around anymore. And yet he wasn't around much in season 6 anyway. He was in prison the whole friggin' time. Pissed me off, but that's the way it goes.
No, me too. I kept my friend Bruce Fretz, who's over at TV Guide. He's the article editor, and he writes some great stuff. Bruce, I was telling every week, I'm like, okay, where's Mark Boone? Where's Perlman?
Yeah.
Where the fuck are these guys? I mean, I love my Kim Coates hourlies because it seems like we're in every scene this year. But I'm like, where are these guys? And then, you know, Mark comes back, Bobby comes back, which is cool. But then what happens to Perlman, just when you think you're getting him back, you're like, oh, man, that was a total letdown.
Did you think he was going to go like that when we broke him out of jail? Did you think he was going to die?
Like, if I took away my bias for how much I love Ron Perlman and how much I wanted to see him every week on the show, like if I was unbiased, I'd be like, all right, he's totally getting it. But a lot of me was cheering for him to be like, all right, sneak him off to Ireland. He'll do an episode here and there.
Exactly.
We'll still get our fill of Perlman, and no, but oh man, I mean, I feel that same way about when anyone gets it. I mean, I will say this. When Maggie got it this year, that shocked me. I got to say, all the other deaths on the show you could see coming. That one was a shocker. That was a shocker.
Not only was it a shocker, I totally agree, but how it happened.
Oh,
I mean, dude, like Gemma's stoned out of her gourd. She's doing dishes. She doesn't expect Maggie. She walks in. What? They fight. The iron, the fork. What? And then 10 minutes later, Charlie's holding her in his arms, bawling. I saw the finale in Vegas with my best buddy Theo Rossi.
Yeah.
They flew us in for 200. Did you know that we had done that? I don't know if you tweet and stuff too, right, Matt? Well, we had done that, and there was 250 fans at the D Hotel, big screen. It was a fan appreciation thing, and I'm telling you, there wasn't a dry eye in the house when it was over. And no one could talk. Everyone just wanted to go, where's the booze? Where's the booze? Where's the booze?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you kill someone with a fork on cable TV? Like,
and I thought exactly. And I thought, getting back to your point of David Chase and The Sopranos, if you remember what The Sopranos, it's the only show in my life that I've watched every single episode was The Sopranos. Every single one. The only one. I don't have time to watch TV. I don't watch my show. That's the truth.
I feel you, brother.
But what I feel The Sopranos and our show can do and has done, it's the mood. It's the music, it's the mood, that whole ending of how Kurt directed it and ended it, even though it was 81 minutes long. That's a movie, boys. That's a movie.
Yep.
And it was gorgeously done. And it was so sad. It was heart-ripping. The scene with me and the boys out on the sidewalk, hugging Charlie, not going to see him for 10 years. And then, he's going to turn himself in. Wait, Theo shoots the car. What the fuck is happening? And none of us had seen it, we obviously knew, but you don't ever feel it until you see it. And once we saw it like that, I'm telling you what, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
By the way, it kind of sucks that Rockman Dunbar's off the show too.
Yeah, he's a bit of a TV star. He wanted off. He had to go.
He's on The Mentalist now, right?
Yeah. He's a big shot now. Yeah.
That's what Ma watches. That's a Ma show more than me. No, but I love that the only show you've seen like start to finish is The Sopranos because that's
100%.
That's my favorite show ever. It's the best show. Does anyone have any questions for Kim before we let him go? Mikey, Steffi, do you want to ask him a question? Come on, it's your favorite show. Come on, you can ask. My sister wants to say something.
Don't be shy.
You're being shy. He's saying don't be shy. Come on, you're giving me dead air here. You're fucking up my show right now. All right, well, in my show, you're getting whacked, okay? You're done.
I love it.
You're getting 2 forks to the head. My sister, 2 forks. Len's going to binge watch, even though we ruined it for him. So Len hasn't seen it yet. You're going to have to binge it.
Well, the thing about Sons, and you know this, Matthew, the thing about Sons of Anarchy is you get 3 reactions. Number 1 is, I've never seen it, but I hear it's amazing. Number 2 is, don't say anything. I'm only on season 3. Don't open. And the other thing is, they're just psychotic fans in the best sense of the word. They can't get enough. It's like candy. It's Shakespeare. It's graphic. It's funny. It's violent. It's sexy. It's a world on motorcycles that no one's ever touched before, certainly not on television. And we're all pretty blessed to be on that show.
Oh, brother, I have one other question for you. All the great music, since you brought up the music, all the great covers you guys do on there.
Bob Thiel, he's amazing.
Dude, which is your favorite cover from all the songs?
You know, I don't have a favorite. I really don't, brother. I just
the Jane's Addiction Sympathy for the Devil's awesome. Yeah. And the cover of Gimme Shelter I love.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
Was that the end of season 2 where you guys are riding?
I think it was 2. Yeah, 2. Yeah, I think it was.
They just kidnapped Jax's kid. Yeah, because it was leading into 3 with the Irish.
With the Irish, exactly right.
Gimme Shelter, what a scene. That is one of the best scenes in television history. Oh, I love how much Kurt loves the Rolling Stones. And Katie does a lot of covers on the show, too, which is awesome.
Yeah, we're lucky to have little Katie as a singer. I mean, that's her first love, right? I mean,
dude,
she sang with Dylan and all the
Sweet. Her version, The Son of a Preacher Man, sweet.
Yeah, no, she's great. Love Katie.
And what's the other one that she did that I really loved? To Sir With Love. Oh, dude, she kills that. That was
Pick up those CDs. Pick them up. Go ahead. Buy them.
There's 3 CDs for, I think all 3 volumes are out now.
There you go.
Sweet. Brother, it's the best show on TV. You got one more season. Let's hook up down the line.
Anytime, anywhere. I mean this. I'd love to sit down and break some bread with Michael, you and me. I think that's awesome that you love him so much. He's such a great guy and writer and director, and I'd love to work with you someday. I really would, man.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck with your film.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'll send you a screener.
I'd love it.
Thank you, brother. And we'll talk
guys.
soon, okay?
You got it.
All right. You're the
Take
best.
care.